Blake Lively wants to limit her deposition in her ongoing legal battle against Justin Baldoni to a single session. On Wednesday, it was revealed that the deposition, which was supposed to take place Thursday, has now been rescheduled for July 31st, as per TMZ. Insiders shared the postponement was a mutual decision. And the actress, 37, reportedly wants the proceedings to last no more than 7 hours, according to Matthew Russell Lee from Inner City Press. Though federal rules already limit depositions to 7 hours per day, complex cases sometimes require multiple sessions. The star's demand was revealed after she suffered a setback when one of her claims was tossed out. The deposition was postponed after a federal judge dismissed Lively's claims against social media PR expert Jed Wallace. The judge added that Lively, who was recently branded a toxic diva, can either refile her claims against Wallace in another jurisdiction or amend her existing complaint. DailyMail.com has reached out to Lively's and Baldoni's representatives for comment. Wallace's lawyer indicated that if Wallace is brought back into the case, he would demand another deposition. But Lively's lawyer, Michael Gottlieb, reportedly argued that the Gossip Girl star should only sit for one deposition, limited to 7 hours. Both sides needed time to review the amended complaint, which might affect the deposition, so they postponed it. Lively had alleged Wallace was involved in a negative campaign against her as she accused Baldoni, 41, of sexual harassment on the set of It Ends With Us. Judge Louis Lyman cited a lack of jurisdiction, as Wallace and his company, Street Relations, are based in Texas, not New York where the lawsuit was filed. The judge explained that the alleged negative publicity campaign against Lively largely took place outside of New York. The few alleged actions targeting New York were taken by others, and there are no allegations suggesting Wallace was aware of them. Therefore, Wallace cannot be forced to defend this lawsuit in New York. A spokesperson for Lively told TMZ that Blake respects the court's decision to dismiss Wallace from the lawsuit due to jurisdictional reasons. They added that it has nothing to do with the merits of her allegations about Mr. Wallace's role in the smear campaign and relates solely to the procedural question of whether he is subject to jurisdiction in New York or elsewhere. Her team added they are considering their numerous options for holding Mr. Wallace accountable. Lively is suing Baldoni, his publicity team, and other defendants, alleging that they retaliated against her after she made sexual harassment allegations. She claims Wallace was hired because he engages in untraceable campaigns across social media platforms and could weaponize a digital army to create, seed, manipulate, and advance disparaging content. He was described in her civil rights complaint acting as a hired gun for Baldoni, his agent Melissa Nathan, and her PR firm, the agency group TAG. Wallace filed a defamation lawsuit against the actress earlier this year. Lively's deposition in her sexual harassment lawsuit against Baldoni will be held at a location of her choosing. She was granted the request to pick the location of her deposition by a judge on Monday, according to Variety, after her lawyers argued that Baldoni's attorneys were trying to turn the proceeding into a media spectacle. Baldoni's side requested for the deposition to be held at the Park Avenue offices of Meister Selig and Fine, one of the firms handling his case. However, Lively's team objected to the location in a motion last week, claiming they feared a media ambush and Lively being swarmed by paparazzi on her way in and out of the building. Baldoni pushed back on her claim by accusing her of trying to use her celebrity status to gain an upper hand in the proceedings. Lively's team also raised concerns that Baldoni would invite social media influencers to be present at the deposition, which is intended to be confidential. On Monday, Judge Louis Lyman approved for the deposition to be held at a different location, which has been redacted in the public version of the motion. Lively's lawyers also asked for Baldoni's side to provide a list of everyone who will be attending. Lyman granted the request, with Baldoni's team instructed that they need to provide the list by noon on Tuesday. The judge also instructed Lively's team to provide printing and copying facilities for Baldoni's lawyers. In a moment of snark, Baldoni's attorney Brian Friedman previously told TMZ that Lively's deposition should be live-streamed to an audience at Madison Square Garden. Friedman's suggestion, which Lively's attorney shot down at the time as a publicity-seeking distraction, would be to sell tickets to the event and donate the proceeds to domestic violence victims. Lively's team argued that Friedman's remarks demonstrated he couldn't be trusted to keep things professional if the deposition occurred at the place of his choosing. Mitchell Schuster, one of Baldoni's lawyers, dismissed the concern as unfounded, adding that holding the deposition somewhere else would be inconvenient for his team. The two sides are preparing to face off in court after they clashed while filming It Ends With Us last year. After Lively claimed that Baldoni's side would try to make the deposition into a public spectacle, the filmmaker hit back by arguing, via his lawyer, that Blake has not supported her claim with evidence. According to TMZ, Baldoni's defense team believes holding the deposition at Lively's lawyer's office puts them at a disadvantage. Justin's lawyer cited the potential need to consult with his hundreds of pages of notes and to use a conference room to speak in private. Baldoni's side wrote in the filing, although Lively's foot-stomping and use of her celebrity status may have enabled her to seize control of the film, which is the crux of this dispute, her counsel's tantrum has no place in this court. Lively is bound by the federal rules of civil procedure, like every litigant. The parties have currently agreed to conduct the deposition on July 17th, though recent legal filings indicate that the two sides have been in conflict over discovery requirements. In emails between Lively and Baldoni's attorneys that were entered into the record, Lively's lawyers accused Baldoni's team of failing to mail hard drives of evidence to them in a timely manner, which would make it difficult for the Gossip Girl star and her team to examine any documents or videos the defendants may refer to when questioning her. Her legal team also expressed concern in the new filings that Baldoni may hope to have her paraded in front of paparazzi and gawkers if the deposition is held in a less private location. In a statement to TMZ, Lively's representative said, "MS. Lively is looking forward to her deposition next week, and it should follow the same rules as every other witness in this case." Justin Baldoni's lawyer has tried to make this matter a public spectacle at every turn, even proposing to sell tickets to a televised deposition at Madison Square Garden. They continued, "This is a serious matter of sexual harassment and retaliation, and it deserves to be treated as such." Lively, who along with husband Ryan Reynolds, 48, was dismissed from Baldoni's $400 million defamation and extortion lawsuit nearly a month ago, is tentatively slated to take the stand when the trial begins in New York City in March 2026. Insiders close to Lively told the outlet that she was prepared to face a series of difficult inquiries at her deposition, and that Reynolds isn't expected to attend. Lively has accused Baldoni of sexual harassment in a lawsuit, while Baldoni accused Lively, her husband Ryan, and publicist Leslie Sloan of defamation and extortion in a $400 million suit, the latter of which was dismissed. Baldoni has denied the allegations brought about by Lively, while Lively, Reynolds, and Sloan have denied the accusations made in litigation by Baldoni. In June, Lively suffered a setback in the case when a judge denied her attorney's application for a protective order seeking to block her text messages with Taylor Swift from being entered as evidence. Baldoni's team subpoenaed Lively for text messages, emails, and any other messages between her and Swift. His lawyers have subsequently been allowed to pore through the text trail, with all communications related to It Ends With Us set for scrutiny. In one embarrassing text exchange, Lively appeared to refer to herself as the Game of Thrones character Khaleesi and to Swift as one of her dragons. Elsewhere in Baldoni's filing is the claim that Swift was present at a meeting convened by Lively at her New York penthouse to discuss It Ends With Us script changes. Sources close to Swift insisted the singer had no knowledge of the meeting and simply arrived to find it underway. The situation reportedly left Swift, who is godmother to Lively's 3 daughters, feeling exploited by her friend of 10 years.